in terms of thinking about risks and returns, some of the players in this space might be coming into Cardano as investors. They tend to think in two dimensions. One dimension is the rewards, and the second dimension is risks. Now, as far as I understand, the rewards are more or less fixed. You can maximize them by putting your money in a pool that has the biggest number of ADA pledged to it, because that's where the most of the rewards will go. But as far as I can tell, at this point, the additional money that you will get, additional ADA rewards, you will get as a function of putting your money in a pledged pool, is not that different, especially on the smaller scale, pools where the pledge ranges from anywhere from 100,000 to 2.53 million. The upside is limited there. So in terms of rewards and risks, is there any consideration for investors to take into account when they make staking decisions?
You are right that right now the influence of especially this A0 is not very high, so it doesn't really make much of a difference for people that stake, how large the pool is, how big the pledge is. And I mean, as all things, there's always a trade-off. And in that case, for this A0, the trade-off is that, if you have it high, then you get this strong effect that you mentioned, that it's much more lucrative to invest into a large pool, into a highly pledged pool. But the downside is that it makes it more difficult for people to actually start a pool, because then if they can't put down a large pledge, then their pool would have a significant disadvantage. So in the beginning, we are still in early days, of course, but shortly before the Shelley launch, was a lot of discussion also in the community. People were very worried that they won't be able to put down a pledge that's high enough. So we probably, we've set this A0 quite low, so more on, between the Sybil attack protection on the one hand and fairness and making it easy for smaller players, we somehow put it quite far to the side of the smaller players. But of course, we are constantly monitoring it, and we have lots of discussions with the community and lots of proposals that are being discussed. So we are, of course, open to changing that, and we are listening carefully to what people say. And of course, the large pools have obviously different interests to the small pools, and we also don't want to take sides, obviously, but we just try to to listen to everybody, and we look carefully at proposals, and and hope that together with the community we'll get to a setting for those parameters that serves all the concerns, both of the pool operators and the stakers and everybody. But it's difficult, of course, and there are lots of moving parts, as you said, and we must be careful to. It can have large effects if you change something, so we try to be very careful and consider it and consider the consequences before we change something. But
Yes.
I'm sure that something will change. We are also now looking at the data and see what's happening, and I'm sure we will adjust it sooner or later.